Portland is one of the few cities in America where soccer is really a big deal. But throughout the past year, many fans have had a hard time supporting the Portland Timbers and Thorns as scandal after scandal comes out of the club's front office. Now, some of the biggest fan organizations say they've had enough. Both the Timbers Army and the Rose City Riveters are demanding that owner Merritt Paulson sell the team and fire top execs Mike Golub and Gavin Wilkinson. Yesterday, a report looking into allegations of abuse within women's soccer was released, and it revealed major problems within the league, much of it centered around the Portland Thorns and former coach Paul Riley. The report was the result of a huge investigation led by former acting Attorney General Sally Yates, who wrote, "Our investigation has revealed a league in which abuse and misconduct, verbal and emotional abuse and sexual misconduct has become systemic, spanning multiple teams, coaches, and victims." The investigators found a pattern of abuse coming from several prominent coaches, and when claims were reported, according to investigators, the league hardly moved to address them. They wrote, "We heard report after report of relentless, degrading tirades, manipulation that was about power, not improving performance, and retaliation against those who attempted to come forward. Even more disturbing were the stories of sexual misconduct. Players described a pattern of sexually charged comments, unwanted sexual advances, and sexual touching and coercive sexual intercourse." Former Thorns coach Paul Riley was one of a handful of coaches investigators focused on, and they wrote, "Numerous players reported that Paul Riley created a sexualized workplace throughout his tenure in the NWSL. Riley frequently talked with players about sex and encouraged them to do the same. He fixated on players' sexual orientations and targeted players with grooming behavior that included late-night texts, drinking, and flirtatious comments about their appearance. Riley's abusive conduct was considered an open secret, but it never prompted an institutional response." The investigators say the club protected Riley's reputation and blamed the players who brought the allegations against him for putting him in a bad position, and that the Portland Thorns specifically tried to hinder the investigation. They wrote, "The Thorns refused to produce relevant documents for months, making specious arguments that the materials were protected. In addition, the Thorns declined to make Mike Golub, president of the club, available for an interview. The Thorns' lack of cooperation delayed our investigation." The organization that runs the fan groups, the Timber Army and the Rose City Riveters, says they are done until big changes happen. They say that after everything that's gone on in the past year with the teams, they're suspending their relationship with the club until Paulson, Wilkinson, and Golub are gone.
So how did we get here? The investigation was commissioned last year after multiple reports described abuse by National Women's Soccer League coaches. It started when The Athletic published an investigation into former Portland Thorns coach Paul Riley. Former Thorns players Sinead Farley and Mana Shim came forward accusing Riley of harassment and sexual coercion.
It's so prevalent. It's not just this team. It's not just this coach. It's across the league. It's across the sport, and we have to do something about it.
Former Thorns player Alex Morgan said players tried to report the abuse, but the National Women's Soccer League, which controls the sport, chose not to investigate.
The barriers were not there, the consequences were not there, and thus it allowed a systemic problem to flourish for years.
Paul Riley's contract with the Thorns ended in 2015, and he went on to coach other teams. The Women's League did not disclose the abuse allegations, and Riley left the Thorns with well wishes. After the investigation, team owner Merritt Paulson published an open letter promising more transparency and that he would take action to protect the players. But just a few months later, Major League Soccer, which controls the men's league, fined the Portland Timbers $25,000. That involved Timbers player Andy Polo, who was accused of domestic violence in May of 2021. The team knew about the allegations, but did not suspend Polo from the team for 9 months and did not report the claim to Major League Soccer. The club said at the time, "We deeply regret not suspending Polo immediately. It was a failure on our part and one that will never happen again." Then, in August of this year, the Oregonian published an investigation into the Timbers and Thorns staff. Former employees say the club was a toxic work environment for women and working mothers. Many of the allegations were against the president of business, Mike Golub.
Physical touching that was unwanted and general workplace behavior that some saw as unprofessional. In particular, we found issues with nursing and working mothers. That was an issue for one employee who said that she was made to pump breast milk in an electrical closet.
Throughout the past year, fans have struggled with how to support the team, with this message for the front office.
We're paying attention. This isn't something that we're going to let up on, and we're going to be looking to hold them accountable.
And that's how we got here.